Yeah, good morning, students. Just to continue from our previous lecture on hill tourism. Okay, yeah, if we go to Himachal Pradesh, we come across different different hill stations like Kullu, Manali, Kasauli, Dharamsala, Solang, and Kufri. Okay, apart from that, the North Indian hill stations are blessed with a number of freshwater lakes like the Ular. Ular is the largest freshwater lake in Jammu and Kashmir. We have called the Dal Lake. Fine. Then gradually, as we come downwards, we get the Mount Abu hill station in Rajasthan. We have got the Mahabaleshwar hill station in Madhya Pradesh. We have got the Panchmarhi hill station in Madhya Pradesh. We have got the Mahabaleshwar hill station in Maharashtra, along with the Lonavala and Khandala, right? Then we can go to further south in Kerala. We get the Munnar and Wayanad. In Tamil Nadu, we come across Yarkaud, Utkamand, popularly known as Uti, also known as Udagamandalam, right? Then we get Kodaikanal or Dindigul. These are prominent hill stations in Tamil Nadu. Once we come to West Bengal, we come across the beautiful sites of Darjeeling, right? Then we can go to Gangtok in Sikkim, right? Even the hilly areas of Bihar, close to the Nepal border, like Darbhanga and all, are very cold, are very cold places, which are very much salubrious for hill tourism. Uttarakhand is a prominent state which promotes hill tourism. Places like Nainital, Mussoorie, Dehradun, Ranikhet, and Almora are prominent hill stations in those places. Then if we come towards the northeast, in Assam, we have got on one hill station, that is Haflong in Assam. Arunachal Pradesh has got a series of hill stations like Tawang, Bomdila, Tezu, Itanagar, Zero, Along, etc. Aizawl in Mizoram is a scenic and picturesque and what is called a panoramic place. Okay, it is really photogenic. Kohima, Mukokchang, and Mon in Nagaland. Okay, Imphal in Manipur. Though Imphal is basically a valley, but still it is what is called surrounded with lofty hills and mountains. Okay, with lofty hills pertaining to the Naga Hill family. Okay, so what I would like to say is that in most of the places in the northeast, we come across not only the northeast, all across the country, we come across a number of hill stations, and most of these hill stations are always blessed with salubrious climate, pleasant, cool climate. Okay, they never get heated up. They're away from the hotness of the plains, the humidity, the people to beat the sweltering heat, okay, of the plains, the blistering heat which they can experience in non-hilly areas, and also to beat the summer season, the summer heat, and the sultry humid conditions. People flock in large numbers to these places, not only to spend quality time there with their family and friends, but also to buy local goods and products from the local shopkeepers, the local marketeers, the local community people, take part in their traditional and customary fairs and festivals, and also like to spend quality time amidst them. Okay, making a taste of the rich delicacies which they prepare and serve and devour them with relish. People love to go shopping of the local traditional woolen items, okay, which are ethnic and absolutely ethnic to the local population dwelling in the hilly areas or the hilly tribes. This can be carried back as souvenirs and as memorabilia. People can go for boating, people can go for natural sightseeing like waterfalls and lakes, which are predominantly found in those places. People can visit temples and mosques and churches in those places. People can go for horse riding as well as camel riding, and people can light up bonfires and sit around the bonfires and have enjoyable evenings, gossiping, singing, playing antakshari, and taking part in different parts of tourism activities. People can go for drinking with their friends and families, right? So hill tourism offers a plethora of activities. Okay, there is a never-ending list of activities, tourism activities, which can be performed in hill tourism destinations. So I would like to conclude my lecture. It is just a continuation from the previous lecture, which was projected in the previous video, that hill tourism is basically an added advantage towards the tourism scenario, not only pertaining to India, but to the global tourism forum. And in India, especially, hill tourism contributes tremendously and enormously towards the generation of revenue, towards the provision and facilitation of employment opportunities to the local people dwelling in the periphery of the hill stations, people who are dwelling on the fringe areas, okay, or on the periphery of the hill stations. They can take part in activities, they can make money, they can become self-sufficient, right? Rather than becoming employment seekers, they can become employment providers, and in that way they become rich, they make money, they're able to generate revenue. Ultimately, it is contributing towards the overall Indian tourism context. It is the greatness and the significance of hill tourism which we in India and others dwelling in different parts of the world cannot ignore it. This is for today's lecture. Thank you very much. Thank you.